What's good with the YouTube? You already know this is Big Flacco with the convict's perspective, man. And as always, man, we give a perspective about things that are going on out there in the streets, community, prison, and so forth, man. Keep it raw and uncut. And so check this out, man. I've been asked numerous times to talk about the Thumper situation, and apparently he got rushed to San Francisco. Some people were talking about that he was given the business and whatnot, man. And I waited because I've seen a lot of different IG posts, a couple videos. I said, let me wait off on this, man, because sometimes I get information and I get it from multiple sources, and it's coming through multiple third-party sources. And so I said, let me just see how this develops. First and foremost, Thumper's upstate Sureno, from the North Bay. He has a little rap following. He'd be taking shots at at the homies and so forth, man, Nortenos and groups, and talk about, he's always got this and that on him and so forth, which is typical of a rapper, man. you know, uh, Regardless, I'm saying, that's just part of the nature of the game when you're rapping. I'm saying? Some people are going to embellish their stories, whether they have things on them or what they're doing, but it's up to you to sit there and give your own opinion and evaluation. Now, like I said, there was a lot of people saying that he got smashed, he got rushed, he got this and that, and he did a video, a short, and I guess there was a picture I seen where he had like a bloody mouth or blood right here in this area, and he did this and he started showing his teeth and he goes, "Man, you didn't ask me whose blood that was." Whoa, whoa, whoa. And I'm like, I looked at his appearance. If he really got jumped bad, he didn't look bad at all to me. Who knows what happened? But the internet has a tendency to have a frenzy whenever they get any type of information. People want to put that shit out there, and that's the nature of that's the nature of the game nowadays. Everything is fueled off the internet. From IG accounts and whatnot to fucking beefs and so forth, man. And you never know how your actions could sit there and entice other individuals. Now, did he get jumped? I don't know. Was there an incident? Yes. Did he look bad? Not at all. You know what I'm saying? And that's just I'm gonna leave my opinion there. But I'm gonna touch upon this, man. There's a couple things I started to think about. One, first and foremost, when you have a platform, social media, you're on the internet, you're doing videos, and you're gang banging or you're talking in a certain tone, you're gonna entice individuals that want to attack you when they see you. And that goes for Norteño rappers, Sureno rappers, black rappers, whatever it may be. That's what's gonna happen. That's the cause and nature of doing business if you want to be on social media. So therefore, sometimes people are going to see that they're going to be trying to be about that action when they see you, and that works both ways. It doesn't matter if you're upstate or down south or up north. This is the true nature of the business, And so, in rapping, you're going to put yourself a target on yourself. People are going to, when they see you, you're basically a trophy. So I could see some young Norteños catching them somewhere and wanting to give them the business. That doesn't mean you take every individual lightly. Some people will have this notion that if you're a Norteño, some people think all Sureños are soft and whatnot. Say you're a Sureno, some people think all Norteños are soft. The truth of the matter is this: you have those that are straight hitters on all sides, bulldogs down south, upstaters, Norteños. You got those that ain't no punks. They do enough to get by and they rock with their homeboys, but they don't involve themselves too much, but they're ready to go if they have to. And then you have the third ones who are straight weenie cats. You have all three of those tiers within the nature of the business. You know what I'm saying? And so, at any given time, things could be escalate into warfare and whatnot. I mean, there's people who have gone live on social media, IG, Facebook, and whatnot, who've been smoked on live. That's how serious the social media stuff can get. So if you're a rapper or you're on social media and you're okay with the backlash and heat that you have coming, just know that that's the reality of it. If you're going to be a rapper and you're going to put yourself out there, there's going to be those ready to give it to you when they see you. And that's just the goddamn truth. The other thing that I kind of thought about when I watched this video was this, man. I see the different stilo in a lot of these upstate Sureños, right? They don't remind me of the traditional Sureños that I had experienced in the 90s out there in the streets. But they don't remind me of those from down south either. Most of them have a whole different lingo to them. They remind me of cats that are from the Bay Area, right? But are Sureños. Their hairstyle, all that shit, man. And it made me wonder, right? Like, everybody's gone through this. You got the NF that has the Bulldogs, what I'm saying, they branched off the New Flowers, the Northern Riders, and whatnot. You had the MA, which had the two fivers, the green lighters, and so forth. And even the Bulldogs have had factions that have branched off of them. Now, what's the potential due to the different type of geographical locations, right, in the different stilo that potentially upstaters could try to break away from the down south Sureños? You know what I mean? Could that happen? Could that be a possible scenario? And I kind of was analyzing it. I'm like, there's a couple things that could trigger that in the future, and that would have to go. That would have to be. It would have to take someone with influence, just as crackers was used to help assert the Bulldogs push back in the '80s with his brother Indio and Spookio or Spooky. That's the same thing that had to happen up north, because you got big homies up north now for that particular faction. They've recruited people on the basis of maintaining that control up north within these barrios. So the only likely scenario that could occur from that would be if one of these individuals who had very much strong pull with not only their neighborhood but surrounding areas was to fall out of favor politically and then have influence on those hoods. Or if individuals get tired of being pushed on a certain agenda, as far as having to kick in taxes and whatnot, and it doesn't benefit them. So there's a lot of things that could potentially instigate that. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I do think it has the potential for it, because no other area has not been subject to those type of rats. It has occurred everywhere. All this stuff is man-made, right? The creation of causes and struggles and whatnot being applied by human individuals. No human is not without fault. That's why you have all these group factions. That's why you had Snoop start off his Northern Rider shit, man. I was there. I know a lot of the reasons why he felt the way he felt, because he was on a yard where the shot caller was a fucking dope fiend. You know what I'm saying? Same thing that happened with the Bulldogs. There was a lot of influence by some very high power individuals. We don't know the very true facts of what really happened, because I could talk to about 5 NF dudes over here that were there in the 70s and 80s, and they can all give me 5 different versions. I could talk to 5 different Bulldogs. They can give me 5 different versions, but it happened. Same thing with the two fivers. It was a very influential big homie from down south who ended up joining that group that had influence and started to recruit certain people. And you had the two fivers back in the early 90s, Tehachapi and CMC and all these places. So what's going to happen with this? It can happen, man. Especially because of the different culture shocks and changes based upon locations. When I see the upstaters, man, I've gone to certain areas when I've gone to visit Northern California, and I don't even recognize dudes as being upstaters. They had a whole different style. This wasn't the Surenos that I've seen in the 90s. I'm used to the straight super cholo ones and stuff, or the ones that thought they were cholos but didn't know how to do it right, or the cats that just came over from Mexico at that time. Now they're all homegrown. They grew up in these areas. They've adapted the lingo, the culture, and whatnot that goes into their environment. Because people, places, and things kind of affect who you are as an individual. Therefore, if you grow up in a certain area and it's all predominantly ran this way, then you're going to kind of adapt to those that are the majority in the environment that you live in. Because you're going to meet them in school, you're going to meet them during sports, and you're going to run into people. And that's like why the East Bay has a certain type of lingo to them, more so than other areas. Anyways, man, yeah, man, the whole situation with this rapper Thumper, man, I don't know the details, and I don't want to sit there and put a false label or classify things that are wrong. I think an incident did happen. I don't think he was like totally smashed and had to be hospitalized or anything like that. According to him, he was giving those dudes the business back. Who knows? I wasn't there. But you're going to hear all this kind of different information at the rumor mill about this and that happened. He did this and he wasn't about that. I don't know. I wasn't there. But I will say that this rap stuff could really turn into be the next trend, within the Norteño upstaters of causing funk, causing conflict and war and whatnot. You see what it's doing to Sacramento. The Sacramento politics are fueled by the street politics and the rap game combined together. Will this start to occur amongst these groups? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? There's so much stuff that's going on, within a lot of these groups that who knows what the next steps are. I don't think you can control a mass of people. Even if you are an authority figure, there's going to be those that are going to sit there and, rebuke any type of push that you give. They're going to try to run off and do their own thing. If they want to go clap at someone, they're going to go clap at someone, and that's just how it is. The streets are the streets, and it won't take till those getting locked up and have to suffer the consequences if they stir something up that doesn't need to be stirred up. Then we'll see. We'll find out what time it is. But yeah, man. The rap shit's fucking crazy nowadays, man. It's now it's turned into how other particular rap groups used to do it in the beefs back in the days. Now that I started doing it as well, so we're gonna see what's gonna happen from here, man. I just thought I'd touch on it, man, because I've seen a couple videos where people ran with the story real quick, and I've done that before too, without having all the facts. But at least I try to give a disclaimer, like I don't know. This one, it just to me, I don't know what exactly happened, but I seen the video of his face talking and addressing it, and he did not look fucked up at all, man, at all. I was like, what I mean? If I got, if I'm with two homeboys and we're jumping someone, man, you're getting the business, man. You know what I'm saying? You're not. They're carrying you out of there in a stretcher. You know what I'm saying? So this is just my opinion, my perspective. Boy, Flacco, Convict's perspective, and I'm out.